Tom Jordan's Got Issues.
Big news coming out of Michigan that gyms are now allowed to reopen after almost 6 months since they were shut down March 16th of this year. And now in early to mid-September, they're allowed to reopen. It's an interesting story because when you look at Planet Fitness, for example, their gyms have been open around the country, I should say, not in the state, but around the country. Planet Fitness gyms have been open, and they've done their own testing, as have other gyms, to find out the occurrence of COVID-19 and their contact tracing that they've put together. Even the states have looked at this. And I have not been able to find one single outbreak of COVID-19 resulting from gyms. There was one that was suspected in an area called Pacific Beach in California, in San Diego, but the health department, last I checked, had not released if there who might have been affected and how many, whether they're employees or whether they're customers. But they have ordered those gyms shut down, so one of those gyms opened up. That is the only gym in the entire country that I have seen that there might have been an outbreak. Planet Fitness has conducted their own studies. The number of COVID cases resulting from Planet Fitness has been statistically zero. So I spoke with him, and you're going to hear my interview. It's a lot of excitement for these gym owners who've been patient, waiting for Governor Gretchen Whitmer to allow them to reopen in this pandemic. And to be fair, there's information that is all new throughout, when this really got going heavily in the state of Michigan, at least, and much of the country in March of 2020. You remember candidates were campaigning, holding rallies, including Gretchen Whitmer and Joe Biden together in the state of Michigan, well into March. And then a few days later, they shut the state down. So things were moving quickly back then. They shut down gyms, 3 p.m. I was one of those escorted out of a gym in Michigan, and along with my kids, and they have not been open since until now. So I spoke with the owner and the guy in charge of the Planet Fitnesses in southeastern Michigan.
Good morning, Tom. Thank you for having me on. Huge sigh of relief. You guys' announcement was a long time coming, and we are really excited about reopening the gyms next Wednesday.
Celebration, but a lot of hard work for the weekend, right?
No question. Yeah, we've gone through this once before, so we were preparing a couple months ago when we thought we were going to get word that we would be allowed to reopen. But you are absolutely correct. We're going to be working very hard over the weekend to make sure that the gyms are ready to go, the staff is properly trained, and looking forward to opening the doors on Wednesday.
So I've been going to Planet Fitness for a number of years now, and you've always, in your gymnasiums, it's just policy, you wipe everything down, you require the people that go to the gyms to wipe things down. It's a clean environment. I mean, how are you going to up the ante from what you were already doing, or are you can do much of the same?
Yeah, no, so we came out with a 90-page playbook covering reopening guidelines and protocols with Planet Fitness back in April. We have added more cleaning stations. We have added more hand sanitizing dispensers. We have more signage throughout the club to make sure that we're emphasizing the need for members to wipe down the equipment before and after. As you know, we do our regular walkarounds, but we are making those walkarounds more frequent. We've invested in electrostatic sprayers that we'll use to clean and sanitize the equipment on a regular basis with cleaning and sanitizing chemicals that are approved, EPA approved, to kill COVID.
What's amazing to a lot of us is that you provided this, you said 90-page document to help businesses and to explain how you and others can reopen safely. And the protocol was used for other businesses when you provided that, thinking you're going to be able to open. That you were not allowed to open, but they still used your guidelines in some senses to help other businesses reopen safely. Well, why do you think it took so long for gyms to get the go-ahead from the governor?
Well, I think the gym industry in general has a bad image, and I think it took a little bit longer for us here to get past that. But we have proven in other parts of the country. In fact, now in 49 other states that have been open for several months. At Planet Fitness alone, with over 5 million check-ins per week, we've been tracking at about 1 in 354,000 positive COVID cases. So it's statistically zero positive cases coming through gyms. So we're looking forward, and when we know we've taken the necessary precautions, confident that we'll make sure that our facilities are safe, not only for our members, but obviously keeping our employees safe is a top priority for us as well.
Yeah, it's kind of been like a real-time science experience, and you've been doing it yourself with all these gyms. Statistically zero outbreaks really across the country. So it's good news. You're relieved, I'm sure, about this. So there are some stipulations, 25% capacity. What does that mean for Planet Fitness? Is that for like fire marshal codes, or how do you get that 25% number?
Yeah, it's based on your occupancy limits that are established by the local code, and generally the fire marshal establishes those. So we're comfortable at the outset that we can manage. It's a start for us. We obviously want to be able to control the environment. We have in terms of social distancing in the club. So along those lines. For example, we have put every other piece of cardio equipment out of commission so that we can maintain at least 6 feet of social distancing in our clubs at all times. The equipment itself we've made sure that everything is at least 6 feet apart. We are doing in some of the separate dedicated areas in the club where we're limiting occupancy going into those areas as well. So it's manageable, and I know my colleagues in other other concepts in the gym and fitness industry are going to manage that as well. We're just thrilled that we're going to be allowed to open and start to get members coming back in and resuming their exercise routine.